Hi everyone, the NDA is finally lifted, and in this video I can talk whatever I want about the AMD's Ryzen processor, specifically the 1800X that I'm using. Alright, so more details after this. Now, I've been thinking on how should we go about with this video, but so let me just start by expressing or sharing the whole process of my experience with the Ryzen 7 1800X. I came back to Malaysia on Thursday. I arrived at night, and after I got home, I immediately set up my rig and have been testing the Ryzen 7 1800X since. And I've been working on the overclocking process for days. Now, this is not something easy because it's new. So we are talking about fixing on the motherboard or whatever else that's available. Halfway through my test, I got a new update from this BIOS for this MSI board, which is the X370 X Power Gaming Titanium. And even I just got the Asus board yesterday, and even that, it has an updated BIOS for it. Even so, with the latest BIOS, I can't say for sure whether this is the final. Well, I don't think it's the final for the overclocking, but certainly there's more things to be tweaked in the BIOS, which hopefully will bring better overclocking performance. Even to get to where I am, which is at around 4 GHz with a 1.4 V core, it took me days of experimentation. Even the memory profile doesn't load. AMD just informed us a day or two ago, but that's a bit too late because I discovered it much earlier. Practically about a day or two into my endeavor in overclocking, I noticed that it keeps failing stability tests. So I checked the BIOS, and it seems that there's something with the memory. It's like you set it high speed, but the timing is too tight. Somehow it just fails the whole testing, the test. So what I did was I applied the manual settings, everything, done with all that, finally set it at 4 GHz and at DDR4 3000 MHz. So with that, I present to you the benchmarks here. As you can see, the Ryzen is phenomenal. It's awesome when it comes to multi-threaded performance. It performs well in single threaded performance as well. Gaming wise, well, it's on some games you see, compared to my i7 here, which is the 5960X, it's pretty close. Yet on some games you see that, wow, the difference is huge. Or I need to highlight that I'm using a Zotac GTX 1080 AMP Extreme graphics card. So as you can see, the Ryzen works great for both games and content creation. But from what I see, it's more, I think the Intel offerings are still better when it comes to games. But the Ryzen opens up a whole new avenue especially for developers when you want to create games with more cores, and for content creators, you get to get a lot more things done faster. Right, so another thing I think I forgot to mention is about the heat. Being on stock, it works fine. Even when I run my stress test, it remains under 80. But the thing is this, the temperature reading is on die. So the motherboard will keep on thinking that this Ryzen is running hot, and the fan, I feel, is spinning at a higher RPM than needed. When you touch the heatsink, it's not hot, but the temperature reading is showing like 80, 90, even hundreds. So I don't know what's the direction for this part. I'll leave it to AMD to decide how to go about. But for me, it's like, I do wish my fans go at a lower RPM. I'm not the type of person that likes that can deal well with noise. I like silent PCs. That aside, yeah, overclocking, I couldn't get it to be stable at 4.1 GHz. I could get it to be stable at 4 at most, and that also the V core is at 1.4. And even I find that overclocking settings, it's pretty sensitive. For example, if I set my BIOS to 4000 megahertz, which is 4 gigahertz, is just unstable. But just to drop it to 3993, and guess what? It's stable. So I still haven't figured out what's causing all this. Well, it could be just a BIOS issue. Who knows? It's too soon to tell. It's just been a week of testing. So that aside, have a look at these graphs here. This is the power draw, of which on my system. That time I was testing. The system comes like what I mentioned, our Ryzen 7 1800X. Graphics card is the my Gigabyte RX 470, and the rest of the system is what I mentioned earlier. So as you can see, I know that the TDP is 95 watt, but remember that TDP does not mean power draw. So this is the overall system power draw numbers from the wall, and then estimated based on the 90% PSU efficiency. So we've come to the end of this video. What do I think of the Ryzen 7 1800X? I guess it goes without saying, with my with the benchmarks I shown you everything, I'd say the Ryzen 7 1800X is one awesome processor. In fact, prior to this video, I've been preparing a lot of a bunch of other videos which I recorded during the tech day, and guess what? It is this rig here with the Ryzen 7 1800X that helps me produce those videos so fast that I can upload them on time. So I think it's just lovely. In fact, it has I've already planned to have this Ryzen rig replace my Intel Core i7 5960X unit, which I had intended for video processing. So alright, that's it for this video. Thank you for joining, thank you for watching. I hope this video has give you some insight on the experience. Yes, I spent days overclocking, days. Overclocking, stability test, failed, tried again and again. I went through so many iterations. I have at least 5 overclocking profile on the motherboard. It's really been a tiring week. So kudos to AMD. I look forward for improvements, better stability, whether it's BIOS and software and other. Speaking of software, I miss out regarding the Ryzen Master, which is the overclocking software that AMD provided. Now the thing about the Ryzen Master is that overclocking is done via software, so you need to boot into the OS, load it up, then it loads the overclocking thing. For me, I didn't like being an overclocker for more than a decade and have been a BIOS person. The Ryzen Master does not suit me well, simply because the tweaking options are limited and it lacks real-time monitoring. Like for example, CPU-Z has like vCore monitoring and a bunch of other things. You can hardware monitor. There's a sensor for voltage and whatever things. That many other software. I'm not listing them off my head much now, but you know what, you get what I'm saying. Ryzen Master is limited. It just does not show you the many things that you want to see. For example, softwares like MSI Afterburner, which is really great. I prefer to have a software with less UI, more monitoring and better tweaking. But overclocking be overclocking. There's a limitation on what you can do on software, as opposed to going right down to BIOS level to fine tune everything. So guess what? In the end, I uninstalled the Ryzen Master and I went on to BIOS overclocking. That aside, well, that's it. That's it for this video. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in. Do remember to subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Signing off, Brian from Goldfries. Thank you for watching.